Hi, Omega Khaos here again with another online deck profile, and this time I'm going to show one of the decks from my Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Duel Links series, Awakening of Zarc. And the first deck I'm going to show is the main deck of that series, Supreme King Magicians, focusing around summoning out Supreme King Zarc or Supreme King Dragon Zarc. In Doshichi it's called just Supreme King Zarc, and in Doshichi it's Supreme King Dragon Zarc, and the Zarc is typed differently as well. So I guess let's cover this deck. So first are the Supreme King cards, I guess. The first is Supreme King Gate Infinity, the only scale 13 monster, which is pretty insane, but it does have a pretty heavy restriction that you can only pendulum summon if you have no monsters on the field. So yeah, pretty good. Its monster effect allows to summon a Dragon type Xyz or Pendulum from deck stack, but its attack and defense becomes 0. And all that, so that's pretty decent as well. So all around, pretty nice. Then Supreme King Gate 0, it's the one of the only 2 scale 0 monsters, so pretty good as well. And it has a really good pendulum effect as well, that you can destroy both of your cards in your pendulum zones, your scale infinity and scale 0, to search for any fusion or polymerization spell card from the deck. So it's definitely, this engine is very necessary. So yeah, for one of the combos to summon out Supreme King Zarc. And then Supreme King Servant Dragon Dark Worm, based to search out your Supreme King Gates cards. So definitely really good. So yeah, I might drop Infinity and Gate to 2, but I'm not completely sure. Then one performable Screwball Joker, the only performable in this deck, obviously. Then 2 Oda's Pendulum Dragon. Yeah, it's not really that necessary in this deck, because of course you have your new magicians for, yeah, but still of course really good. Then 3 Astrograph Sorcerer, a main way to summon out Supreme King Zarc in this deck. So I don't run Chronograph in this deck because Astrograph is a lot better. You only run like Chronograph in the a more pure magician Zarc deck without the Supreme King cards in the main deck. Then the new magicians that, so with the new magicians you can pretty much substitute them for your Dimensional Dragon cards, essentially, of course, Astrograph. They're definitely really good. And they also have, some of them have floating effects as well. So this card, if it's a monster effect, allows you to search for a Pendulum Graph card from the deck if it's destroyed by battle card effect. The first effect is pretty good as well, but you're not going to use it that often. Then 2 Black Fang Magician, which substitutes for Dark Rebellion. Irish Magician, of course, substitutes for Pendulum Dragon monsters. So yeah, this card, you just use it as a name really, but it's a monster effect. You can revive a Dark Spellcaster from the graveyard if it's destroyed by battle card effect. Then Wild Poison Magician, which substitutes for Star Venom Vision Dragon. And if this card is destroyed by battle card effect, you can destroy one face-up card on the field. So pretty good as well. Then 2 White Wing Magician. It's just a Pendulum Tuner, but again, it's just used as a name, as a substitute for Clearing. Then 2 Magician, pretty good, really good card in this deck, because it's either one card, a Synchro or Xyz, so that's pretty good, like 1 card Start Time Magician. Then of course 1 Wisdom Eye, because of course really good. Then of course 1 Noble Dragon Magician, just for more synchro plays. Then spell cards, 1 Audacious Fusion, very necessary for one of the combos in this deck that doesn't use Astrograph. Basically, yeah, I'm going to explain it once I get to Zarc itself. And then one Pendulum Fusion, because it's pretty good. Of course, it's also accessible with your Supreme King Gate card, so yeah. Then Miracle Synchro Fusion, again, and that is over for the combo. Then one Pendulum Cold, of course, obvious. 2 Sky Iris, of course, search for all dice cards. And 2 Terraforming, search out Sky Iris. Then 2 Pendulum Graph Ages to, if a Magician Pendulum leaves the field in your Pendulum Zone or Monster Zone, you can search for another Magician Pendulum monster from the deck, so really good for sure. And 2 Pendulum Graph of Space Time. Basically, you can target one of your magicians in your monster zone or pendulum zone, and your one card you opponent control, destroy them. But if one of the cards wasn't destroyed, you can send another card to the graveyard. So that would be really good. Then extra deck, of course, the main card of this deck, Supreme King Zarc, Supreme King Dragon Zarc. So of course, the cards 4 Dragon type monsters. 1 Fusion, 1 Synchro, 1 Axis, and 1 Pendulum. And of course, the alternative way to summon it is, of course, via Astrograph. So when it's, if it's spell summoned, you destroy all cards your opponent controls, and it can be destroyed by card effects or targeted. So, and if it's destroyed a model monster per battle, you can spell summon a Supreme King 7 Dragon monster from your main deck or extra deck. And if it's destroyed a battle card effect, you can place this card in your Pendulum Zone. And the Pendulum effect basically stops your opponent's Fusion, Synchro, and DK monsters effects, but mostly really won't go to the Pendulum Zone, but either the game ends before that happens, or your opponent gets around it in some other way, and my Pendulum scales probably are going to be full anyway. So basically, again, like I mentioned, 2 ways to summon it. First with Astrograph, which is probably the easier way, and the other way is with using Audace Fusion and Miracle Synchro Fusion. So basically, you use Audace Fusion, and of course, you have no other monster on the field, and your opponent controls 2 monsters. You send your Audace Ring Dragon and Audace Absolute Dragon to the graveyard to summon out a Vortex Dragon to the field, and then you have your Fusion, you have your Pendulum and Axis in the graveyard, and also Synchro. Then you just need a Dragon Pendulum, you summon it to the field, or you have it in the graveyard already, and then basically you use Miracle Synchro Fusion, because Miracle Synchro Fusion allows you to, of course, use Fusion materials from the graveyard for a Fusion monster that lists a Synchro monster as its material. So basically, you can then summon it Zarc out in that way, and it's definitely a lot faster, because Astrograph needs more setup, but it's a lot more consistent way. There's a more, I guess, yeah, a gimmicky way to summon it, but it's definitely very possible. So around 2 Zarc, you can get away with 1 for sure, because once the 1 comes out, the game is probably over already. But the second one is here just in case. Then 1 Star Venom Fusion Dragon, of course, pretty obvious. Then 1 Audace Vortex Dragon, like explained, very necessary for the combo, and really good fusion by itself as well. Then some Synchros, Enlightenment Paladin, because pretty good. 1 Ignister, obviously really powerful Synchro for any Pendulum deck. Audace Meteor Burst Dragon, really good as well, and necessary for the combo. Of course, Cleaving Synchro Dragon as well. Then Audace Raging Dragon, you are not going to ever summon it in this deck, because I don't run Xianka Magician, but of course it's just a target for Audace Fusion. Then 1 Audace Absolute Dragon, pretty obvious. 1 Dark Rebellion as well. Then 2 Starter Magician, very necessary card in this deck. It costs 2 level 4 Magician Pendulum monsters. And once per turn you attachment, you actually want to search for any dark spellcast from the deck. So that's completely amazing. And if a pendulum monster in your monster zone or pendulum zone will be destroyed, you can send one spellcast type monster to the graveyard instead from the deck. So that's completely amazing. You want to basically summon it out first turn, search your essential pieces to summon out Zarc. So definitely really nice. And then other rank 4s, one Coastal and one Majestor Paladin, because of course if you use your Dark Worm and any other level 4 to summon this, because start time requires magicians. So this was my Supreme King Magician online deck profile. I'm definitely considering making this deck in real life, but I'm probably not going to use the Supreme King K cards because they can be kind of cloaky sometimes, and in real life I want some room for more techy magician cards. And of course, new rules. If the link summoning completely screw up this deck, we have to think about that as well. So I hope you enjoyed this online deck profile. For now, goodbye and Khaos out.